All right, and the OBS lost its mind, but we're live. I don't know what happened there. Hello, welcome to episode 2 of 4 of Fun Shots Where Memory is Sleep, the show where Dylan somehow forgot how many episodes we have last time we played. Not sure how that happened, but it did. So as a reminder, this is a sort of hybrid show that we're playing. I want to say last week, but 2 weeks ago we did an episode in a game that is very good, and you should check it out. It's called Ancient Stones. It's on Itch.io right now. Where we set up sort of our characters and establish some facts about the world. But today, and for the following 2 episodes, we will be playing Ryutama, as it says up there, by Kotodama Heavy Industries and Atsuhiro Okada. But before we talk about the game that we're playing and actually get into it, it's been 2 weeks since I hung out with most of y'all. I wanna know how you're doing. So, Catherine, what you been up to? How you been?
I've been great, guys. Shadowbringers came out, so that's. Oh, you want to know how Kathira's doing?
No, you as a person. You're good.
Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers Early Access just came out, so that is what I have been doing for the past 24 hours that it has been out.
How many hours do you think you have in it out of those 24 hours?
22.
Oh my god, Catherine!
Yay! I have some concerns.
I'm simultaneously so proud
and so
concerned.
Worried.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Actually, no, guys. I'm actually no, Danny. I'm not level 80 yet. I'm level 74. I'm actually trying to take my time and enjoy it all, but there's so many places to take screenshots and G-pose, and like I'm getting distracted by side quests. There's like a fire in the background, and I'm over here like side quests. So that's where I'm at. But I'm doing
screaming
well.
In terror. But
and I'm like, but I have to. I gotta give the Google a sandwich for goodness sake.
That's like, kind of understand.
Yeah, you don't understand. So, but I've been really, really good. I missed you guys. I'm super excited to be playing again. Ready to jump into the world of Ryutama.
Hell yeah. I think you bring something up that I find just hilarious about most MMOs is like you always end up playing like the hero of the world, right? Especially once you get several expansions in. You're just such like a legendary figure at that point. And then someone's like, "Hey, could you fetch this sandwich for me?" Like
yeah.
Anything, citizen, anything for the people.
I've saved the world 3 times, and I'm out to do it again. And you want me to take some time out of my schedule to like go pick up your homework?
Keeping you humble.
Yeah, well, no, it's important to level up your gatherers and your crafters as well, which is why we can make benches and make sure that everyone has
yeah.
Right. Oh man.
I definitely think the next iteration or sister game of Ancient Stones is going to have a card about benches somehow. Yes. I'll make it happen.
Yes, do it.
My legacy.
You find something that looks oddly like a bench.
What do you do with it?
What memories does this bring back?
Yep.
All right. Kirby, how you been?
I'm afraid I've been somewhat boring. I did DM for the first time, and that was very nerve-wracking, and it went all right. Of course, I'm hard on myself, so like it was fine. The players said they had a good time, but of course, in hindsight, it's always 2020, and so. But yeah. So I'll be prepping the next session because we ended kind of halfway through it, and I've been cleaning my room. That's like the other big thing I've been doing. So. Nothing too exciting.
That's that's very responsible of you. My room is definitely clean.
I say I'm cleaning. It's a disaster currently, but working through it.
Yeah, those first GM feels are Oof.
I almost started stress crying right before. My brother walked me through it, though, so he was the real MVP, helped me keep it together.
That's good. I'm very lucky that I started with role-playing games when I was like a wee bab. I was an itty bitty human when I started playing. And then like I tried to GM for my friends when I was like 10 or 11 or something, and so the books that I had were 2nd edition D&D, but the game that we played was we called it D&D, but like I sort of just decided what stats everybody had, and then there were no like actual hit rolls. It was just like I would tell them to roll a die and then tell them if they did it or not. It was,
oh goodness.
It was a disaster. But I think part of the advantage of that is like after you have that as your DMing experience, like you can't go any lower than that.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Like I can't GM worse than I did when I started, and I didn't like. I had read the books. I didn't understand what any of it meant, but
oh no.
oof. But big congratulations on GMing for the first time.
Thank you.
For the sake of all of us, I hope that you continue doing it and enjoying it.
Thank you.
It gets easier every time you do it.
Yeah, that's the part I have to tell myself. Like, it's rough now, but it'll get better because I'm a perfectionist. So it's like hard for things to be rough, and I just need to accept it's going to be rough and embrace it's a mess, and it's okay. It's a mess.
The two universal truths of GMing is you will never be perfect, and you will always get better.
Yeah.
Okay.
They sound contradictory, but it's true.
Okay.
Janaya, how have you been?
I've been okay. Yeah. My jobby job stuff has been eating the rest of my life, which is unfortunate. I usually have it pretty well herded into a manageable space. So that's been hard, but the rest of my life has been pretty good. I had my session 0 for my long running upcoming Invisible Sun campaign that I'm in on Otherdocs channel, and I love my character and I love the other characters and I love the world, and now like I feel like I'm walking with one foot in Saturnine all the time. Like I went to see this show at the Symphony that was a partial animation thing where they had like scrims in front of the orchestra and there were all these lights and things, and it was about clocks and different inanimate objects coming to life, and I was like, this is just an Invisible Sun show.
Invisible Sun is a whole time.
So that's been good, and I've been healing this ankle surgery thing, and I was just posting on Twitter and musing that I'm feeling like I must be getting better because all of a sudden I'm back in the kitchen more than I used to be. Like I made fresh bread and I made crackers and I made jam and I made gravlax, and I used to do that kind of stuff all the time. And it stopped after I got injured. And like now all of a sudden I'm excited to do that again. And that's like, that's really good. Internal
awesome.
Things are right feeling. So yeah, I'm good.
Hell yeah. Well, I am happy that you're feeling better, and I'm happy that you're here for some Ryutama. Jess, I haven't seen you in forever.
Gosh, yeah, it's been. How many hours did we sleep?
It's been like just over 12 hours.
Yeah,
we stayed up late talking to each other afterwards.
Which is a shorter amount of time that I was playing 14. So
fair. Yes, I'm doing great. My cat's doing less great. He's outside screaming his head off, but I'll deal with him later. He can wait. Real talk, he just got let out like a minute ago, so he needs to chill. Last night we did Ghost Club, the monthly Monster of the Week campaign that I do over on my channel that Dylan plays in. It was great. It's always great. Like it is bar none my favorite game to run, I think. Because we have these adorable anime high school kids having their anime high school drama and bonding, but also there are yokai, and that is extremely my shit. And I get to be a trash can kitsune, which is also extremely my shit.
It really is.
I don't have to try too hard to roleplay that character.
What's this? Anime shenanigans and I get to be a trash can? Please.
Now is my time. Yes, that was very fun. We wrapped up a little story arc situation there. I also earlier in the week we had the finale, the season and a half finale of the Call of Cthulhu campaign that I was in on an encounter roleplay that Lindy, who also hangs out on this channel, in a Ryutama game. She was our keeper. She was amazing. It was her first time running Call of Cthulhu, and
Really?
it was the best time I've ever had, and probably ever will have in that game, I think.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were in Antarctica. We befriended elder things. We punched a bunch of Nazis and stopped.
Yeah!
We stopped the laser Shoggoth Nazi apocalypse with the help of the time traveling occultist.
That's a mouthful.
That is beautiful.
And my girl who went to Antarctica to find her professor boyfriend person esquire, like we never called him by his name. He was just professor boyfriend most of the time. He was her professor and he was her boyfriend later. So she went to find him.
He's French. His last name was Boffron.
Boffron.
Yeah, exactly.
That tracks because at the end of the final episode, she asked him to marry her, and he became Professor Fiancé.
I love it.
So it was a very good game, a very good group. I had a blast, and I don't know, we'll probably do more someday.
Nice.
It was too wild not to want to do more.
I am just amazed that you got out of there alive and sane. Like,
Yep. Somehow. We did, like, there were a couple players who we had like about a 50% survival rate.
no, I'm surprised that you got out of there alive and sane, because, like, I mean, we all know that your roles are not always on your side, but also you don't exactly play characters like they're precious. Like,
Well, I mean, it also depends on the type of character, and this was a very practical, perfectly normal woman who had a degree and a brain.
Also,
So, like,
It's that your rolls are low.
yes.
And for Call of Cthulhu, you
Mm.
need low rolls. So
Yes.
really, that game is just well suited for just
Yes.
this particular kind of luck.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You definitely in Call of Cthulhu, you've got to roll below your skill
right.
threshold. And the lower you roll, the better you do. So apparently that's my game.
So what I'm hearing is you need to play D&D 2nd edition.
I guess.
Pass all those skill checks.
God.
But still not hit anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other than scrambling and prepping for this very game right here, right now, that's been my week.
Speaking of, do we wanna play this game right
That'd
here?
be
Right now?
lovely.
Do we want to do that? All right, Jess. Take it
Are we
away.
ready? Let's
As
do the
ready as
thing.
I'm gonna be.
Let's do it.
I feel
Okay.
that, yeah.
All right. Let's do this. There was a time when I had loved all creatures who strode upon my land. You were all my children, each one of you beautiful and unique, and worthy of love. But when you looked at one another, you did not see it. I wept, for I could not understand why you could not look at your kin and see the beauty there. My soul cried out to you through the earth, each splash of blood upon my soil stinging like a wound, each clash of blade and talon a scream to rend my heart. But I loved you still, my children. I gave you my gift. I sang my songs to you in hope that you would hear and come to understand. But you would not listen. But for the few who still held the light in their hearts and recalled my melody. And in time, you could no longer hear me at all. But for my dear light seekers. With your war machines, you gouged the flesh of my body. You turned my gifts against me and drew my very spirit from out of the earth, and used it to kill each other. I knew it must end. I could not bear to see you hurt yourselves any longer, to see my light seekers struggle and fade away. With the last of my life, I shattered it all. I sent the broken memories of my dying land to sleep, and with it, all of you. The land was barren, devoid of my love, for I had long since given it all to you. The shards of memory scattered and vanished, burying themselves away. My light seekers, I drew you close and embraced you as I fell, protecting you as you spent all of your energy protecting me. And like the shards of memory deep in the earth, we too slept. But I love you still, my children. And all of you, many, many days after leaving the forest, you awake at your camp. Faces tear-stained, a sting in your hearts as the words echo out of your dreams that you had that night. And I would like everyone to make a condition check.
Okay. Let's
If
see if I
remember how to
can
do
figure
it.
out how to do this.
There
It
it
should be
is.
on your character
Oh,
sheet.
shit.
First
Why-
roll of the
Hey,
game.
football point.
Okay.
Shit.
All right,
Okay.
what do we got? Oh,
Yep.
no.
First rule of the game.
I was super hoping I wouldn't need the rule book, but okay.
Oh
Okay.
shit! Right, if you fumble on a condition check, it's
You get yeah. So
Is it? It's not bad shape. It's
out of shape. Yeah.
yeah.
So-
Out of shape? Okay.
Yes. So Janaya rolled a fumble. Galena fumbled.
Everybody.
Everybody gets a fumble point. And you now are out of shape, so it means the character is feeling run down and out of sorts. The player must choose one of the following status effects to affect their character. You can choose Injury 4, Poison 4, Exhaustion 4, or Muddled 4. So Injury reduces your dex by 1 die size. Poison reduces strength by 1 die size. Exhaustion reduces your spirit by 1, and Muddled reduces your int by 1.
I haven't played this enough to know strategically what to do with this.
What's your dump stat?
Yeah.
My dump stat is dexterity, but it's really low. It's at a 4.
Oh. Well,
And I actually need it to hit things. So, like, my intelligence is probably my most important stat because that's for healing in battle.
Mhm.
My strength is all my damage.
You could also just pick what sounds narratively appropriate between injury,
Right.
poison, exhaustion, or muddled.
So we had this sort of dream all together,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go with poisoned and
Okay.
drop my strength.
Also, you're a healer, so you probably have
Yeah,
a skill that will let you take care of
I-
this pretty quickly.
Yes. So I'm gonna drop my strength, and basically what happened was she woke up from this dream in the middle of the night and was like, I can't get back to sleep, but I have to be well rested tomorrow. And so she quickly grabbed some herbs and tried to throw together a tea for herself, but she'd had a bad dream and it was in the dark, and she just mixed the wrong herbs and
Oh.
basically poisoned herself
Oof.
a little bit. So instead of like putting herself to sleep, she just,
Not
made
feeling
herself
great.
a little sick. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see how everybody else did. That that's really weird.
Looks like Catherine
seven.
rolled twice.
Oh.
Yeah. And Kirby's is not doing a condition check or something. That's bizarre.
I'm not. Is there like a command I'm supposed to type for that?
Yeah, so if you look on
or-
the if you just look on the checks section of the sheet, which actually we should all be there at the very top
Yeah.
left, there's a fumble points section. You should put
Yeah.
a 1 in there because we all just got a fumble point from Galena fumbling.
Okay.
Yep.
But also,
Yep.
if you look under common checks, you can just
Condition
click.
is yeah.
You just click
You
the
Do I
name.
just click it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The character sheets take care of most of the heavy
Okay.
lifting for you.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Okay, so we've got everybody's doing pretty good. So that's a 9, 7, 5. You rolled twice, Catherine. We'll take your
Yeah, I
first
don't
one
know.
because whatever.
Whatever.
We'll take your first one because it's better and it was first.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I hit it twice.
Yeah, and then an 8. So nobody got above a 10. It looks like.
No.
Nope.
All right. So you're all okay. How does this look for all of you as you awake? Who was up first, other than of course Galena, who was up in the middle of the night and is now feeling a little yuck.
Just conked out.
Kathira gets up. She doesn't sleep very well in any case, so a dream like that would have woken her right quick. She's kind of stepped a little away from camp, not far away, but kind of just having a moment to herself. She's picking up the pieces of the things that she remembers and putting them into the place of the dream that she has, because she does not believe it was just a mere vision.
Okay.
She believes that is one of the key missing memories from her past.
Okay. I imagine that Sage is up pretty early too. Just like old habits and things. She's used to getting up, going on the road while it's daylight and such. And I imagine that even though it didn't wake her up the way it did Galena, she probably woke up like kind of in a panic. And she probably remembers parts of the dream, like the dream kind of vaguely. And what she remembers confuses her because she almost feels like it's a bit of a mistake, and it's like connected to the memories that she's trying to suppress.
Okay. And how about Tally?
I feel like we're all early risers here.
Everybody's just up early with the sun.
Yeah, like this isn't the party where like most of us are like for 3 hours while somebody else does it. Like we're all like, okay, get up, do the thing. So yeah, Tali definitely wakes up and like quickly wipes her eyes clear, and then sets about getting breakfast ready and doing morning stuff.
Okay. And Galena, do you want to do an herb check?
I do.
Okay.
Hopefully, it will go better than my other one.
What's our terrain at right now?
Terrain is wasteland, but the weather is clear, so your
Oof.
target number is going to be 6.
Okay.
Okay. So wasteland is my terrain that I picked. Do I put just
Add a bonus.
so how
We'll
do
just click
sorry?
apply
How do I do
terrain.
that in Roll20? Do I just add a 1 next to the herb gathering?
No, so in your checks where it says optional modifiers at the top,
Uh-huh.
select
Yeah.
the current terrain to be wasteland and then check apply terrain bonuses.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect.
I picked up used climbing shoes, and that's supposed to give me a bonus to wasteland. So would I just add that after I roll?
On checks where the
Where the item in like is included, then yeah, you would just add that in the modifier section.
Okay.
So
Okay, so
Well,
I got
gotta find the modifier section then.
it's the space next to the check that has an
Okay.
arrow in it.
And what was the weather currently?
That's rain.
Clear.
there.
Claire,
Claire.
bear with us, chat. This is a lot of. We're very new here.
There's
Yeah.
there's some technical stuff around the Roll20 character sheets that we need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Welcome to
Ryutama
Functions.
requires all of this kind of setup at the beginning of the day.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll get our numbers straight, and then we'll let you
Work.
guys kind of.
Gotta.
We're gonna try rolling it now.
You got a.
That's a
9 on that
that's
herb
a-
gathering?
that's a heckin' good herb gathering check. Let me find you.
I can't
Something-
sleep, but I can find me some plants.
Let me find you some plants to come back with. If I remember where the heck that is in the book. See, I too
It's-
have to
Page nice.
page nice.
69.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want the wasteland one?
Let me take a look at it. Hold on. Healing oibs.
Orb. Sorry, I've been watching GDQ, and so random words just make me shout stuff.
Wow, yeah, I think the wasteland one is a good choice. It's kind of ironic, really.
Mm-hmm.
So you find a crowned morning glory, which the use is used to help ease sleep. Next day's condition will be 6.
Yay!
Nice.
Which actually, I wrote on-
Galena finds it and she comes back to camp with it, still looking like she's been hit by a truck. And she's like, her purple curly hair is like just kinky curly, and it's like not, delicately over her eye, it's just like over her face. And and she just drops the morning glory into the herb bottle, and she goes, well, that would have been helpful yesterday.
You all right, Galena?
Yeah, are you okay, Galena?
I think I drank something that didn't settle well with me. I think I can fix it out. And then, if it's possible, I think what I want to do is use first aid on myself, which removes a status effect. Is that what I would use?
Yeah.
I believe. And that removes it for an hour and then lowers the condition by my level after that hour.
Perfect.
So
And
that
you
would
are level
that would
3,
clear it,
so-
right?
I
Yeah.
believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You'd be
And
good.
I'm gonna roll that.
Okay.
Because conditions only affect you if they are above your current condition.
Mm-hmm.
So if your condition right now is 2, so if you can get the rank of the status effect down to
Yep.
2 rolls.
So I got an
you know.
8.
Okay. So status effect. Yeah, you're fine. You fixed
Yeah.
that.
So Galena goes over and she puts these herbs away, and then she pulls out some other things and mixes something up. And I think you see her drinking this sort of potion, and somebody, I don't know, maybe Tali or someone comes over to talk to her, and she's like drinking it, and she just puts her hand up.
This is the don't talk to me until I've had my
Don't
hot
talk to me until I've had my coffee.
Don't talk to me until I've had my weird herb juice.
Yeah. And when she's done with her weird herb juice, she's like, okay.
Feeling better.
Did you want
That's good.
breakfast, or are you good now?
Maybe in a minute. Yeah. Just give me a minute.
Just sets a bowl of soup on the ground next to you. Just leave this here for you.
Yeah. She tosses a rag over it until she's finished her tea.
Ugh. Those mornings, though. What's Kathira up to?
I think she's still brooding over by this tree. She's literally leaning over and kind of rocking her head. She hears the commotion, and her eyes kind of perk up at the sound of breakfast, and never mind. And she makes her way back towards the camp. So, what's for breakfast?
Well, it's Tali like spoons some of the soup out into a bowl, and it's a stew. It's what you can make.
Land stew.
It's
All
not
the same.
it's not terrible, I don't think. If you want me to roll a check, Jess, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm going to use my cooking rules that I have used for my
Oh,
Promise
boy.
Tree crew.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not going off of a recipe.
No.
Okay, so Dex and Spirit, please.
All right. Dex
Oh, no.
and
My fate is in your
Spirit, I'm
hands.
good at those. All right. Here we go.
Woo!
Hey!
Okay.
Nice.
So let's
Good
see.
food.
That is a math
13.
12?
13.
Okay. So you are between you're probably famous in your town and best in the land.
Yeah, Tolly's good at
You make
cooking.
baller stew.
Holly, this stew is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, I mean, it's what I could do with what we had, but you know, it'll do.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going to say that like I think that would rank that as delicious food. So
Yes.
Nice.
your condition checks for the next day will get a +1 bonus. So maybe make a note to yourselves about that.
I will try.
All of us?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anybody who eats.
If you're
So under
if anyone's brooding
So-
and not having breakfast, then
under common checks, I add 1 to condition.
yeah,
For the next time
Tim.
you roll, yeah.
Thanks for the soup. Kathira's satisfied. She's slurping her soup and she's feeling more energetic and happy to be around her friends.
What kind of landscape are we in? You said it's wasteland, but like, is it like hills or is it flat or mountains or?
Once you've gone beyond the forest, I think you followed that flower path out of the forest, and as it led out just a little ways, and then it sort of began to wither and die. And the earth ahead of you is just sort of barren, rocky, cracked earth with extremely sparse, dry weather sort of weeds and small shrubs and things. Not really, no trees could survive in this. You see remnants of what might have been trees, who knows how long ago. And Galena, it was you know the land enough that you probably know where you can find things like these crowned morning glory flowers, and they're a pretty hardy plant. And the pop of color is easy to see against the brown and black and gray of the terrain. And even though it is a clear day, there's a cast of gray that just sort of seems to hang over the land outside of the forest. It's very, very different. And it's tough walking under your feet because it's hard earth.
Yeah. So I think Tolly pulls out the map, that like stone map that we had, to look at where the glowing is, where that path that we were gonna follow shows us to go, and say we should probably get moving before it gets
Yes.
too hot.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Snape had started packing when she woke up and just helps out with that.
Took a break for breakfast and then just went back to packing.
Am I allowed to use my magical arrow compass to aid us?
Once you guys set out on the road, we'll have you do your travel and direction check. So if you've wrapped up camp,
Do those stack? Could we both cast arrow compass?
I don't believe they stack.
Damn it!
Oh, shame.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't think the effects stack. So you all finish eating, get yourselves collected, packed up. You break camp, and you set out ahead. There's really no road to speak of, but you have your weird magical map that kind of starts to give you a clue, and you see the occasional landmark, like one of these dead, gnarled, twisted black trees that just seems like it's sort of like when you kill a bug and it curls in on itself. The trees give you that sense of imagery.
Kathira actually walks up to one of those trees and gingerly places a hand on it. This thing is like it's devoid of any life it had.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
magic's not all fun and games. But it's fine. We're doing it. We'll get. Just holds up the map somewhere soon. I hope.
So, as you start to set off, let's go ahead and do the travel check.
Oh boy.
Ooh, fun.
Oh no.
This is the one we're all good at, right?
Travel check.
Mhm.
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I didn't fumble.
Hey!
Oh.
Ugh.
Ah,
Oh,
Totally.
checks.
All right.
Travel.
So
go.
Kathira succeeds.
Did it work?
Yes.
Yep.
Galena succeeds.
Yay.
Tali's having a rough time, so have your
No.
I will half my 10 HP. That's right. I gave myself a little bit of a bonus. I now have 5 health.
Okay, and then looks like Sage also succeeds. So what happened to Tali
I think
on this journey?
for one, she's not used to this terrain. She's used to traveling through forest, and so like the just steady march and the hiking, I think, is more than she's used to. She's used to more of a whole body workout, of, like climbing over
Your dogs
stuff
are barking.
yeah, her feet are sore, and there's no shade here, so I think she's just like not as good at staying hydrated. I think she probably had drilled into her some rule of like every this increment of time you drink a small amount of water, and that like works really well if you're doing missions in a forest, but not
A
so
shady
well
forest.
if you're under the sun.
Yeah, there are. It's so clear there are no clouds in the sky. When you look up, it's basically just an endless kind of, not truly blue. It's just sort of a muted slate color, and then the sun is just this kind of sickly white orb in the sky. It's not super hot, but it over the hours you feel it,
Yeah.
and it'll wear you down.
So I think Tali's just like a sweaty, exhausted mess. She's like, it's not heat stroke, but it's that when you don't take enough care of yourself on a hot day, and you're just like,
just feeling
Yeah.
And I'm sure her attire is probably more appropriate to forest travel too.
yeah. I mean, she obviously doesn't have it tied, like kept close around her or anything, but yeah, she's got like a cowl and like leathers, and so she's just like, it's hot out here.
So the rest of you see Tali kind of struggling. I think at this point she's probably fallen a little ways to the back of the line just because keeping pace is hard.
She's just lugging around the stone tablet too.
Yeah, there's also that.
Say,
Tali, are you?
Go.
Sorry,
No, you're fine.
Tali, is everything
Yeah.
okay?
Oh, yeah. Are you all right? Want me to carry the stone for a while?
That would be helpful, thanks.
Okay. Sage comes over and takes the map
Wait,
and does her
no.
best to kind of keep
Hold
things
it.
with Tali.
Hold it where I can see. No, no,
Oh,
rotate it.
Okay, this way,
Oh,
to the
bless
right,
you.
or the left.
No, just
I think while they're arguing about the direction of the map, Galena will come over and like with a wet rag and kind of take down your cowl and put it on the back of your neck, like wave her hand, pull you down, and put it back up and be like, there, hopefully that should help.
yes, that's better.
Good talk,
Thanks. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Friends, don't worry
Of
about it.
course.
Are you okay to press on, or should we break?
Of course. I'm fine.
Well, let us know, okay? No need for one of the heroes to pretend to be more hero, right? And she kind of like jabs Tali in the shoulder.
Right. Uh-huh.
All right.
Looks at the map. I really don't know where we're going. I'm gonna be honest with all of you. I'm just like, I'm following the map, but I don't know where it's taking us.
Well, that's part of the journey, right?
Absolutely.
I I don't know. I usually have somewhere I'm going when I go places, I think.
I mean, I'm used to that too, but it's a new world we're in right now.
Is it? Just looks around. Feels more like an old one.
You know, I have a lot of memories that I let my heart lead me where I need to go. Just listen. I believe in you, Tali.
Yeah. All right. Now, let's turn it. There you go.
Okay. I'll hold it this way.
All right. So as you press on, I think we'll do the direction check to get the number, and then is it break time?
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Let's see if we get lost. Do you wanna help me with some, or you could just roll the direction check. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were supposed to roll.
Do we all roll or
whoever-
just one?
Whoever is the designated mapper, which we didn't really talk about or identify roles, I don't think.
I
the
remember
mapper is the one who
vaguely.
has
I
the
thought.
I grabbed journal.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna say. I thought you grabbed one.
Yeah, I mentioned wanting to do mapper, but
Okay.
Do it.
You were the one holding the map and reading it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would make sense if you. Yeah.
can we? Because one person can help on the direction check. Can we use that as? Can I petition that to be help?
Yeah.
Sweet. And did you wanna cast Arrow Compass?
I would love to cast Arrow Compass.
All right. Do the thing while my cats try to kill each other
Nice.
behind me.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So,
no.
oh, I've got music. Wonderful. So remember, Kathira is a dancer, so she's got her chakras now that she has in her hand. She's getting ready to cast
Nice.
Arrow Compass. Direction, lead me straight and true. Ha! And like, sparkles fly out of her chakra, and they fly over towards the tablet math, illuminating the way and showing a clear path towards where they need to follow.
All
I
right.
love it.
Nice.
Roll. Let's see.
Oh, I have
You
to
did
hit
it.
the button.
Yeah,
Well, it looks like you did the direction check.
you need
so
a magic
that's,
check.
That's yeah.
Here I go. Meow.
Woo!
Hey! All right. So with
You did amazing.
Mhm.
help and with Arrow Compass, is that a +2?
Yeah.
Do I want to concentrate? No, getting lost is fun.
That's how you know it's a family trip.
Are we there yet?
A +2 here. We are not in the woods, so I don't get a terrain bonus. Here we go! It's a 16.
You did great. You guys know exactly where you're going. I think Kathira's magic, sort of just like it's like you know the quest marker that like gives you a freaking glowing
A little exclamation mark appears on the map.
yeah, a little glowing trail leading the way. You know where you gotta go. You guys will not get lost. So I think as we see the road ahead outlined by this halo of light from the spell, and Tali looking at the map and seeing that it tracks, and you all set off, you will go to break.
Awesome. We're gonna step away for about 10 minutes, and when we return, we will see where this strange magical path is taking us. See you soon.
I like
Hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of Fun Shots, where memories sleep. We have aced our direction check with the power of teamwork. And
Yeah.
we're following a glowing path through the wastelands to, I don't know, Jess, where do we go?
To somewhere. All right. So yeah, you've aced your direction check. You know exactly where you're headed. And you can start to see the landscape rise in the distance, getting closer and closer. This fairly flat, dry, cracked earth starts to break up and become a little more rolling hills. Still dead, and just not a lot of life but there is shape to the terrain as you advance, and you can sort of see some mountains in the misty distance, sort of faded into the background. Is there anything? How's the team feeling as you walk along, knowing you have a direction, but not necessarily knowing where this might be leading you specifically?
Sage is more nervous than she lets on. She just tries to play level-headed, like, yeah, it's fine, we don't know where we're going, but it's a bit of an apprehension point for her.
Kathira is definitely appearing optimistic and being that, like, let's go, and is kind of walking in the front, eager. She might be a little nervous, but she doesn't want to let that on.
I think that Galena was so excited by the sparkle magic going out that she just like got all fluttery in her heart and was like, this is a good omen. Like, this is so beautiful that surely, we are off on the right path, doing the right thing. So I think she's kind of concerned about checking on everybody, but mostly she's like, yay, adventure.
Tali is, I think most of us are playing the I'm concerned, but I don't want to let anyone know.
Yes.
The way Tali is doing that is she's pointing stuff out all the time. She's being like, hey, look at that! Hey, look at that! But it's just like she's being hyper vigilant and looking out for stuff, and then just pointing things out and passing it off as like, I'm excited about this random thing over here.
I'm so glad you did that, because it gives me an opportunity to do something.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh!
Cool!
Whoa.
Oh shit! Random encounters? Is this Dungeons and Dragons?
They weren't all guaranteed to be fighty fight. So, yes, it looks like we're gonna have a little encounter on the road as you.
All right, we get in rows. We wait for our ATB to fill up.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
we
screen shatters.
I'm just imagining.
All right, so yeah, that's what we're gonna have. Let me put
Oh,
some
wait.
bads,
It's got
some,
a little
some bad dudes on the map for
It
you.
has a little blanket and a teddy bear.
All right,
I want to hug that skeleton.
cool.
I mean, is hugging a viable strategy here?
I don't know.
I don't
Alright,
want to find
roll for
out.
hug.
So yeah, I think Tali, you point out, look over there, and as you point, you see sort of what looks like it might have been an old camp,
Mhm.
because there's just like detritus from a fire and like a broken down tent, and you see like armor kind of laying around, and then you hear a rattle, and as you're pointing just beyond your finger, we sort of see a skeleton rise up beyond that reach, and then several others rise up. And we are gonna roll some initiative for some fighty fighting.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
I love this. I love this not like legally distinct Final Fantasy VII battle music. I love
I'm gonna
it.
cry.
I gotta find.
It definitely is.
Alright, let's see. Initiative is in the checks on the left. Dex it.
Yep.
Hey!
All right.
Tali is fast.
Kyle.
Okay.
Hey.
So
Damn, yeah.
Galena is a 9.
And we get to pick if we want to be in the front row or the back row, right?
Yeah, I just arranged you based on what I knew like your weaponry was.
Yeah, I'm
so
ranged.
Please,
Keep me in the back.
please feel free to move
Yeah.
yourselves around.
I'm for being in the front.
Are we
Yeah.
playing rules as written for movement, or are we playing weird homebrew for movement?
What was our weird homebrew was basically like you can move to the back at no cost and still do a thing, right?
I think it was you can move to the front at no cost. Moving to the
Oh,
back
yeah.
was like a roll.
Yeah, move to the
but
back was a
doesn't-
dex int.
Doesn't the nimble type that Sage have, doesn't that allow movement as a like bonus of the type?
Yeah, I have
It
it
might.
written down. It was multitask, move and attack once per combat. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So maybe it's better
So-
just as
Yeah,
written.
we'll just keep it rules as written for that, I
Okay.
think.
I'm gonna
All
stick in
right.
the back row.
Okay. do. Let me just move you guys around here. So same initiative. Who? Galena, your condition was not great, so I think you go second after Kathira. Because
Okay.
if you have characters with a tied initiative, you can push it to their condition. I found out the other day when I read the rules.
For the first time.
I mean, for the first
And-
time in a while.
And so a note on initiative, it's not just our turn order, it's also the difficulty check to hit us.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
And the
Well, I
same is
mean-
for the enemies.
Okay.
So
interesting.
whatever their initiative is will determine where they go, but also what we need to roll to hit them with
Okay.
attacks. Magic is different. Magic uses condition instead of
Yeah.
initiative.
Do.
Skellies!
Skellies. All right.
If there were significantly more of them, there'd be a skeleton.
What kind of weapons do you guys have?
Get out. I
Can't
hate
kick me out of my
everything
own stream.
about this.
Can you guys remind me what kind of weapons you have?
Bow.
I have a saber,
I
so
have a
technically a blade.
I have a broom, which is technically a polearm.
Okay.
All right. So, do. I think basically all of them go after you, so that's cool. All right. So first up is Sage. Oh, we need to do objects. What objects would you like to have strewn about this battlefield? We get 5. So
A cow skull.
each of you give me one.
Where do we see what objects are available?
You just
You
describe
make it up.
them.
Side here.
Ah, there's a boulder.
Okay. And Dylan, you said something?
Cow skull.
Cow skull.
Mm.
Okay.
It's hovering 2 inches off the ground. It's
I don't
actually
like it.
It's actually animate. It just doesn't have a whole body to do anything.
It can float and bite you.
Oh no.
Janaya.
There's a pile of loose gravel.
Okay.
Ooh.
Cool. And Kirby.
I was thinking like a old spear kind of sticking out of the ground.
Oh, so like an old broken spear or something.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm gonna say the rickety old tent.
Mm.
Like it's got rotted fabric on it. I'm imagining. So.
Sweet.
Okay. Sage is up first.
Oh joy.
So
My brain goes in 2 direct. Well, okay. I should probably ask. Are you allowed to move into enemy territory, or do you have to like wait for them to move front up?
you can't move into the front area if it's occupied by enemies.
Okay. That makes
So-
choices easier.
Basically, what happens is, if at any point the front area is empty on our side or theirs, the back area becomes the front area.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's how that works.
Yeah, the battlefield is very like zoned and linear. There's not really
Okay.
it's not a grid-based battle system.
Okay. Well, I'm probably just gonna take out my saber and try to cut down the skeleton in front of me.
Okay, you're gonna attack the child Skelly with the teddy bear. Good.
You're
I'm
making me feel
deeply
terrible now.
I'm so
I
uncomfortable.
didn't know it looked like that. I just
You're not terrible, you're pragmatic.
We have to do what we have to do, guys.
Yeah.
You know?
It's kill or be killed in this world.
Jesus.
I've seen things. Light cigar.
All right. So are you going to use an object at all, or are you just gonna take a swing with your saber?
I was just gonna take a swing.
Okay.
So using an object takes it off of the battlefield, so it's no longer available, but gives you a +1 to accuracy checks.
Right. And functionally, what you do is, if you choose to use an object, you just describe how you incorporate that into your cool attack.
Nice. Okay.
But if you just want to attack, take a swing, make your accuracy check
Okay.
with your weapon. All
7?
right, cool. Cool. Yep.
Okay, should I roll for damage
Does
then?
that beat it?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay.
You
Oof.
do one damage.
Oh no.
Oof.
Heck.
It's okay. This is like the tutorial fight anyway.
I probably see the teddy bear and like hesitate for a second and miss strike.
You swipe your sword at this thing and it puts up the teddy bear to shield it. You decapitate the teddy bear.
Fluff. Fluff
Just
everywhere.
stuffing comes out. It's very, very adorable, but kind of violent.
Oof.
All right. Cool. All right. Next up is Tali. What do you do?
I want to cast some magic.
Okay.
So Tali pulls out her bow, but before attacking, she puts her right hand on her bow arm and says, Schema der Stetenhund, and I am casting Enhanced Red Hand.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
So the magic check is Int Spirit,
Yep.
correct?
That is correct.
And then I'll describe the spell if I succeed.
Yeah.
Didn't fumble.
Hey, that's all you needed to do.
So she says that incantation, and then red, like geometric patterns spread out from her hand across her arm, and then there's a clanking sound, like chains pulling taut, and this pattern just sort of is glowing like a tattoo on her bow arm.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you now have a +1 to your accuracy check. Congrats.
Yeah, and that's for 6 rounds.
Sweet. Okay, Kathira, it is your turn.
Sweet. I would very much like to use some magic on the poor helpless child skeleton with the teddy bear and blanket.
All right, we're targeting the baby skeleton.
This is getting worse.
So
Look, you go for the weakest one on the field first.
I was just going for what was in front of me. It
I
was just
can't
kind of like tunnel vision right there.
I don't have any AoE, so I gotta attack the one Sage is attacking.
Okay.
So Light of the Stars, turn into holy powers. Shooting star.
All right, make your magic check.
Let's see. Where is the button?
There isn't
It should
one
be at the
built
very
in.
bottom of your. Yeah, it should be at the very
No.
bottom of your sheet.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh damn!
Nice.
I need to see if you get anything for that because
There isn't a special thing.
Yeah.
I will say on the checks list, under
Oh.
critical, it says the best
Oh.
outcome possible.
actually, if the magic check is a critical success, the spell automatically succeeds if the check is lower than the target's condition, or even if the check is lower. So basically, it's an auto success.
Gotcha.
Go ahead and roll your damage, which I believe is your
Spirit
int.
one
Is
Is
that
shooting star spirit or int? Hold on.
die. Yeah, spirit one die.
Shooting star is spirit. Yeah. So roll your spirit. Roll
spirit? Where the heck is my spirit?
you.
It's
In your
one of
stats. It's a D8. So
Oh.
roll a D8, which
Stats.
Yeah, so just in the chat thing, type /r space 1d8.
Here we go, fam. Fingers crossed.
8, 8, 8, yeah!
Okay,
That's 3 8s in a row.
Nice.
I'm an
So-
OP.
Nice.
describe how this poor skeleton is completely obliterated by your magic.
So, little sparkling shooting stars emitted from Kathira's chakra and flew with light speed straight into the skeleton, knocking the skeleton back at first as it tossed the blanket and the teddy bear up into the sky. This bright light of yellow from the stars completely enwrapped the skeleton until it started to grow and pulsate and grow, and
Whoa.
suddenly it snapped into dazzling, twinkling stars falling, and not a trace of the skeleton remained but the teddy bear and the blanket.
Cool.
I know Saber looks at
see
a
the teddy bear
gas,
just-
turns around, gives a thumbs up.
Yeah, we see the headless teddy bear just plunk, and the blanket kind of.
Yes.
Hot
All right.
Much so.
So that takes care of that one.
Yeah, Galena looks over and is deeply relieved that she doesn't have to hit the skeleton with the teddy bear.
Yeah, mood.
And
Got you.
I'm gonna use the loose gravel.
Okay.
And I just do that by adding a 1 in the accuracy check. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. Functionally, if you utilize an object in your attack, it gives you a +1 to accuracy.
That gives me an 8. Does that hit?
Are you striking the one in front of you with your broom?
Yes.
All right. So how do you use the
So-
gravel?
So basically, Galena's been walking with this broom the whole time, and if you look closely at it, the handle which was sort of a natural twig, is covered in metal up to a point at the top that's kind of bolted in, so it's like a spike with a hook, just like a polearm. And the bottom has like bits of metal tucked in with the branches. And she has been holding it like a broom, but when she realizes you can't really stab a skeleton, she just throws the gravel up with the bottom of the broom as she spins it around and comes in and just smack this thing with the broom. And the gravel causes it to like not be able to dodge because it's dodging the gravel instead.
All right.
Did you name
yeah.
your broom Hilda?
I did.
I love it.
That's amazing. Cool. Okay. So you smack this thing with your broom, Hilda.
Broom Hilda, the Valkyrie.
Mighty is her force. Yeah, that definitely strikes. So roll your damage. You do 2. Okay.
Not very good.
It's more than 0.
That's true.
So yeah, you
Better than what I rolled.
you spray the skeleton with a bunch of gravel and rocks, and then also the broom, and you just hear as it kind of shakes it off. It looks like you've knocked maybe some teeth loose. So you did some damage. All right, and he's going to return fire by swinging with his broken, rusty, nasty sword that probably has a billion diseases on it.
No,
Oh
thank you.
no.
Let's see. I didn't set up a macro for this one, so bear with me. All right, he does not manage to hit you. He takes a swipe with this big, heavy sword, and you just kind of skate out of the way on the gravel. And he's pretty slow moving with all this armor and whatnot, so you are safe. This one back here doesn't like the way you're glowing, Tally. So
Yeah.
he's gonna just like grab some rocks and wing them at you.
Oh, he doesn't like it either, so.
But he does not hit. And so you see some stones kind of skating past you in the air. Our one-eyed archer, or no-eyed, I guess. I don't know. He's a skeleton. It's fine.
Eye patch creature.
Eye patch archer. He's gonna.
It's a pirate. Arr.
Arr. He's gonna shoot at the one who tried to whack the baby the first time. Guess what? He also sucks, apparently. Aiming with one eye is difficult. Aiming with no eyes because you're undead is also difficult.
I mean, we also just have ridiculous initiative this combat.
You super do.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's their turns.
Okay.
They are trying their best, but they failed. so.
Gambate, Skelly-kun.
Yes. So Sage, it is your turn again.
Okay. Sage is gonna turn to Galena. Oh, that one knew. Oh. Sage is gonna turn to Galena and say, "I'm gonna go for the archer. Can you take the one in the front?"
Of course.
Okay. Actually, shoot. I can't go for the archer because I have to do the front first. Never mind. Sorry about that. I forgot.
Yeah, the
I
front area.
and I forgot.
Yeah, when the front area is totally
Okay.
empty, these two will move up to the front area.
Okay, so I'll be going I'll just be doing the same thing I did last time.
Go sword to sword with
Okay.
this guy.
Yes.
Girl, we're not sure. It's a skeleton. Who knows?
Who knows?
You're not looking closely enough to tell.
Nope.
Yeah, hold on, let me whip out my forensic anthropology to talk about the hip shape of the skeleton we're fighting.
Right. It's also armored. It would be impossible to tell right
An
now. Yeah, that does the trick.
Yay!
Do your damage.
The mod. Here we go.
Okay.
It wasn't any better. It was a little bit better.
Much
Cool.
better.
So,
That's 400%.
So, describe your epic sword clash that takes this guy out.
Oh, I have to think here. I'm not used to doing swordplay. I just take my sword. He comes at me. I do a feint, and I just come around and just slice.
Do you just whack his head off?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so we see that roll away, and the body just kind of tumbles, and the armor crumbles apart, and they are done. And the other two are in range for the next folks to attack. So, Tally, what are you up to?
I would like to shoot the archer
Okay.
before it shoots my friends.
Okay.
And I would like to use the rotting tent
Okay.
by like shooting where it's fastened so it falls down on the archer and then shooting
Okay. Cool.
the archer. So let's see. Inventory. Accuracy. I'm just gonna... we'll just add the modifier afterward. Roll, but that's not a -2, it's a 0. So that's 14 to hit.
Jesus. Okay. Yep, you definitely hit. Damage?
Let's see. Ah, only 2.
All right. Yeah, I think you like shoot through his eye patch and it just kind of sticks there.
Is it like also through the tent? So like they're like a bad Halloween ghost
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
he looks
gosh.
he looks a little awkward.
Spooky, scary
And
skeleton.
is just like
Shivers down my spine.
trying to get the tent off. All right, Kathira,
What's up?
you are up. It is your turn. What you doing?
You know, Kathira was considering casting a buff, but seeing these low hits has her shaking her head a little bit. So she's going to try one more time to do Shooting Star and see how it goes on
All right.
Senor Eye Patch.
Senor eye patch.
So I need
He's
to
having
Buenos
the
dias,
do...
worst day right now.
So the second verse is same as the first. Light of the stars turn into holy power. Shooting Star.
Okay,
And then I have to roll stuff.
roll your magic check.
Here I go. Meow.
Hey.
Yep, you are good. So roll your your d8 of damage. All right. Yeah, that is sufficient. So you blast him into the stratosphere with your cool magic.
And
we
his eye patch is the only thing that falls after the shooting star.
yeah,
It's like just sparkles, and then the sparkles fade, and the eye
just
patch goes.
yeah.
"Thunk."
Exactly.
So-
Exactly.
So what we've got left right now is this poor fella that apparently his clothing probably rotted off. So he's just a skeleton. He's just throwing rocks. Galena, what would you like to do?
Galena
You're gonna
is
clean
going
up?
to. Huh?
You're gonna clean up?
Galena's gonna spin the broom around and be like, "Don't you try to hurt my friends!" And she's gonna dab at it with the pole arm sign and fail.
Yeah, that doesn't quite do it.
Ugh.
You swing the broom at him and he just like rattles out of the way.
Yeah, I think she just got so full of feels she just couldn't be accurate.
Oh, sweet girl. He's gonna throw rocks at Tally again because they're skeletons. They're not very smart, and he doesn't think
Do
about
it.
dealing with the ones who are in his face.
Bring it on. Hit me, you won't.
No, that sure as heck does not even remotely come close to hitting.
That's what I thought. I'm not afraid of death.
Tally, you like hear a little rumble by your feet and you see a stone land there.
Yeah, I think Tully is already like drawn down on the bow at this thing. It just doesn't move.
Yeah. So he doesn't do so hot. And it is now Sage's turn.
Well, I'm just gonna stick with the old tried and true.
Swing at it
Yes.
with a weapon.
Yes.
All right, sword this thing.
Does that miss?
Six.
It's a
That.
six.
Is it meet or beat?
It's
Beat, I think. I think Ryutama is somewhat weird in that it actually you have to beat the roll.
target number. I think it's meet or beat. I think meets it, beats it. It's just a question of because you've got skeletons with 6 and skeletons with 7. I don't know which
Yeah.
type this is.
I forgot to. Burn.
Success checks. Stats used, blah blah blah, rolls the dice. Apply modifiers. Results are compared. Action determined to be a success
We'll go meet or
If-
beat because I can't remember.
is equal to or greater than.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
Nice.
do your damage.
Woo. Okay. Ah, damage.
I think
Are you
you.
kidding me?
You guys need me. You guys need me.
Yeah, I think you stab at his rib cage, but the problem is stabbing a skeleton is less than effective sometimes,
Mhm.
especially if you're not wearing like armor or something. You just kind of go through his rib cage, you chip a rib, but other than making him a little mad, it doesn't do a whole lot.
I just clicked my tongue at that.
Tally, you're up.
Tully grits her teeth a little bit, and then like holds on tighter to the bow and says, Muster des Flinkentats, and I'm casting Shooting Star,
Okay.
which looks a little different from Kathira's.
Nice. Yes.
I think
All right,
that beats the condition.
That super does.
All right, let me. How many points is that? Is that 2 MP for Shooting Star?
Yes.
Okay.
You would think I would have this shit memorized.
I mean, you've cast it a couple times, and then my
Just a
spirit is
few.
D6.
Yeah.
So the spell, like a little, like diamond geometric, magic-y anime shape. Oh, is Jess gone? No,
What?
okay. You looked very frozen on my screen for a
Oh,
second.
no,
I
I
was
was-
like,
I was super focusing on the PDF.
oh no. A little diagram appears in front of her arrow on her bow, and she just looses the arrow, and as it passes through the diagram, it sort of disintegrates, and then a beam of red light pierces through the skeleton, turning it into ashen dust.
That's
Nice.
baller. Okay. Cool.
I'll see you there, Tali. I think Kathira wants to like fist bump Tali real bad right now.
Boosh. All right. Congratulations on surviving your first battle.
Yay.
Yush. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ta-da!
Achievement unlocked.
I promise I will add a victory theme for the next game. That is a small oversight. I do have victory jingles in my repertoire.
Sweet.
I'd expect nothing less.
Of course.
Um,
So, yeah, you have taken out this little camp of skeletons.
Okay. I know Sage is gonna go over and pick up the decapitated head of the teddy bear, the body, and take that with her. She has
Okay.
like a repair kit, so she was gonna try to sew it back up.
Okay.
Oh. I mean, stuffed animals are an item.
Yeah. I guess you looted a stuffed animal.
Well, her plan was, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time, but her plan was to like fix it up and then kind of like leave it as like a memorial, kind of like a tombstone kind of deal, like
Sure.
Mulan. So
Yeah, well, I don't know that we need to get into it, but would you all stay and like put these to rest?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you spend
You're
a
muted,
little bit
Janella.
of time.
In Discord. I just saw talking
Sorry.
and didn't hear talking.
Having audio and video in two places is hard.
Okay. Yeah, you spend a little bit of time cleaning up the camp and just sort of like doing some burials for these skeletons and putting them properly to rest. During that time, Sage, you repaired the teddy bear and you kind of set it on the mound of the one. And you all continue on your way, fairly unremarked. As the day wears on and evening seems to set, you find yourselves in front of a kind of the hill sort of has an opening and descends, and you seem to see a cavern of sorts. And that is where the light from Kathira's spell seems to trail off and end.
Oh.
And you said it's getting on toward evening?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can camp here.
Yes.
I think that would be wise.
Do you think one of us should maybe, I don't know, keep an eye out for the skeletons? I haven't been sleeping well. I don't mind.
I think we should do shifts. We at least need to try to get some rest.
Maybe we should go a little bit into the cave so that we only have to defend the entrance.
But there might be more. Who knows what might be lurking in that cave?
But the
Well, I'm gonna
lights
find
are
out.
leading
Tully's
us that
walking in.
way.
Tully just walks in.
Sage just
Alright.
grimace.
It is super dark in this cavern.
Ooh! Ooh!
I have a lamp. Oh, okay, you can go.
Everybody has light.
have
Everybody
magical
just pulls
light
out their
if you would like
flashlight.
it.
Well, I have a lantern if you
Let's
want to
use
save
that.
your magic.
Yeah, we'll save some MP.
Okay. So Sage takes off her backpack, roots around, pulls out the lantern and her fire starter kit, and she just lights it up and puts it in a spot that everyone can share in the light.
Okay. So, you all go deep
Probably
down
not
into
gonna go
this.
far, I don't think.
Okay.
Like just enough to be like, are we immediately in danger?
Uh-huh. Yeah, the cavern seems to keep going, whatever point at which you stop. You do notice that the carved walls sort of seem to transition to something that appears smoother and more inorganic, we'll say. But I'm imagining you don't advance much further than the mouth of the cave.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's enough to be like, we have two directions to watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's
So you
it.
stay somewhat just inside the actual entrance to protect you from the elements, and let's make a camping check. Who's setting up camp and who's helping?
What are the stats on camping checks?
I'm definitely either setting up or helping, so I think
what
I
is-
get a bonus. Where is camping check?
Check.
I do get a 1+, but
Ooh.
Okay,
go.
so you get a +1 to do to your camping checks.
Dex and
believe.
Int are my top stats, so I'll help.
Okay. So go ahead and roll yours, Tally. We'll see if you succeed.
All right, let's see. Camp.
I am ready to
Oh
help.
my god.
Everybody take a fun one. This is,
We're
gonna be
not
fun. This is going to be fun to describe how Tali completely undoes things.
So do we have
Does
two
Does the
fumble
opposite of help.
Talia is having a rough day.
What was that,
For
Kevin?
Tali.
points? Do we have 2 fumble points now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You can use those whenever you want.
What do they do?
They give you a +1 to the roll that you're spending. it on.
Okay.
It's like concentrating, but it doesn't cost MP.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can both concentrate and use a fumble point.
Yeah. So you can get like a +2 if you really want to make sure you don't fail. All right. Go ahead, Sage, and do the camping check.
Okay, 1 second. Camp.
All right. The +2 is that
I'm- Not sure where the other one's coming from.
Okay.
Sorry
we'll
about that.
That's okay. We'll assume a
It's
plus
using
1.
it's using terrain bonus right now.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's probably fine. So
Do you have wasteland as your terrain?
It's still
No, I have used climbing boots.
Oh.
So they give a 1+ to certain terrains, and wasteland is 1.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, that succeeds. However, Tali fumbled, so she didn't get to help you. But what does this look like as you are setting up camp and Tali is struggling?
Yeah, I think Talia's like trying to help set up like the tent that Galena brought and like set up a fire and get food going. But her left arm is super fatigued, and so like she keeps dropping stuff and letting go of, like, you're like, here, hold this and just hold it right here, and then she loses her grip on it for like the entire time until finally she's like, I don't think I'm really being very helpful. Just get out of your way.
Sage wants to say something, but you've already left, and so it would have been sounded probably hollow anyway. Like, no, you're fine.
So Tali just like starts to go up to not be in the way, and Sage is like,
Yeah.
Tali goes and pokes at some rocks.
okay. So yeah, you guys get camp set up. Who's on dinner duty?
Tali's not doing it this time.
Sage is willing to try and do something. I'm
What are
not
the
sure.
stats for dinner again? So I can...
It's going to depend using the weird homebrew that I have created. If you're cooking,
Okay.
if you have like a recipe on which you've based this that you know, it'll be Dex and Int. If you are just like cooking with a lot of heart, it's Dex and Spirit.
Kathira doesn't mind cooking with a lot of heart.
Okay.
How many rations do we have?
I have some
I brought
rations.
10.
Does everybody have their own rations?
I
Okay.
have
This will use up 1.
So I'll
Okay.
use my ration then.
Okay.
I have us covered on water.
Yay. 'Cause I just
So-
brought the water skin.
I brought a barrel, so
Nice.
Y'all are outfitted well enough.
So that's going to be my spirit and my dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to roll music just because that says dex plus spy.
That's fine.
Oh.
All right,
A
you're
9.
good.
That's good.
Okay.
You've made some pretty darn good food.
9 is as good as a pro.
Yeah. So I
Unfortunately, is a stew again as well.
think,
But
yeah. Well,
I'm
You
used
know.
to travel. I'll take the stew.
it's not bad. I mean, for stew, which you're probably all kind of sick of, it at least tastes good. And yeah, so you settle down to camp for the evening. Is there anything you'd like to do before you all turn in and sleep?
I want to talk to Kathira.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, Kathira, where did
Yeah.
you learn your magic?
Gosh, what little I've put together anyway. When I left my hometown, I traveled far across the sea. There was a town. Everything was white. All of the buildings were like shining bright. There was a guild there. Yes, there was a guild there, and that's where I met my master, and she taught me everything that I knew. I was always gifted at dancing, really, but she said that there was a way to combine the magic within me to my movement. And so I trained and studied and worked hard, and well, what about you? Your spells seem a little familiar.
Well, I mean, some of it. She pulls out the crystal from one of her pouches that we saw her use in the first episode and does it. I'll do a magic check and see if I fumble. Just gonna cast Pure Crystal Light on it. Didn't fumble. Alright, some of this I always knew, but the schema, the patterns, the army taught me those.
I wonder, do you think it's possible maybe we've studied the same magic?
I mean, she looks down at her bow. I think there's similarities, but I don't think they're the same.
Oh.
Your magic's very pretty, though.
Let me show you this then. So Kathira stands up, and even though it's a barren wasteland inside this cave, right? Maybe there's a pebble or two here or there. She kneels down to place her hand upon this small sprinkling of pebbles. And she silently chants, "Grow forth, Amina Nono." And let's see if that does the trick.
Yeah!
Nice.
It does. She's really good at magic. And from the pebbles, tiny sprouts start to break through, and little flowers swirl up and blossom. Different colors. Each pebble has a different colored flower: yellow, red, orange, and pink. And they have a soft glow about them, slightly illuminating in the darkness of the cave.
All right. So you have a few little flowers by your camp. Is there anything else? Would Galena or Sage like to do anything before you turn in for the night?
Well, I imagine like seeing the flowers and anything kind of triggers something for Sage, but it's like a faint memory of like maybe her doing that or like a mentor trying to show her how to do that. But she's fighting against it, so she gets a headache again kind of deal. So she's gonna go over to Galena and kind of hesitantly just ask, do you have any of that headache medicine with you still?
Oh, of course. I was just going to make tea for everybody for bedtime.
Okay, I think that'll be fine.
Okay. So Galena will make everybody a cup of tea, kind of like checking in with everyone to see how they're doing and mixing some herbs for bed. The herb that I got, is that something I can brew a tea out of, or does that only apply to one person?
You can do it. It's fine.
Okay. So I put that in since we all had such a rough night of sleep the night before. And then, just kind of an extra little headache thing for Sage.
Thank you.
Pull them out for everybody and sit down. And as we drink our tea, she pulls out of one pocket this ridiculous little baby deer that has been in her pocket the whole time that she picked up along the way. And she puts it in her lap and gives it some little dried leaves and things to snack on. And then out of the other pocket, she pulls out her storybook and she starts to read everybody a story about kind of like Aladdin discovering this cave, but instead it's about a tiny girl from a village who goes to a cave and sees some thieves going to store their treasure in. And eventually through the story, the little girl makes friends with some animals, and together they defeat the thieves and take their riches back and support her little small community that she was living in. So it's got this very like encouraging thing. So she tells this nice story as everyone drinks their tea. And she lived happily ever after.
That was lovely. Thank you for reading, Galena.
Yeah.
Of course, stories are important.
And just think of The story we'll all be able to tell, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Looks at the deeper into the cave. I hope so.
You just see Sage like freeze slightly before resuming.
Galena looks down the cave and her eyes kind of sparkle and she goes, imagine what wonders we'll find in the cave. And she pets the deer and tucks it back in her pocket.
Yeah, and I think as you're all sitting there having the tea and exchanging stories, you do feel a little bit of the pang of one member of the group that stayed behind. But on the other hand, this is a place that is filled with danger, and you are well aware of that. So it's somewhat comforting to think that Aura is safe at home, waiting for all of you to come back. And I think, is that a good point to start to move to a break?
I think it
Turn
is.
in for the night?
So, we are going to step away for about 10 minutes, and when we return, we will see what awaits us within the cave and close out episode 2, Where Memories Sleep. See you soon. Hello and welcome back to the final hour of episode 2 of Fun Shots, Where Memories Sleep. We have, speaking of sleeping, the three of us have successfully camped, not with Talia's help, and had a bedtime story, gone to sleep. Jess, what comes next?
So I think you all rise with the next day. Let's get your condition checks out of the way.
With a +1.
Yes,
Yep, with a +1 because of that delicious tea.
Oh.
Condition
good.
check?
Mhm.
You said condition.
wait,
was
I'm
with
still
the
using-
+1.
I don't still get a wasteland modifier, right?
You are technically still in the
well,
wasteland.
but you don't use topography for a condition check.
Yeah. Condition
Oh, okay.
check just is.
Then that should just be the +1, not a +3.
Okay. So yours is 8.
8.
Is anybody at a 10 or higher?
I
I'm
have a
trying to figure out why
do
it
math.
says +3 for mine. I don't understand.
So
You
you're
can only be
rolling.
2.
It's probably still using your terrain modifier, so we'll
You
just ignore
have
that.
a class bonus, it says.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
and
I
then
had that.
It's also giving you a +1 for terrain.
Okay,
which
and then the
should not
+1
be.
from the delicious soup the other day.
Yeah, so it should just be
Okay.
a +2, not a +3.
Okay, so 9.
That's 9.
Okay.
And I got a 7.
All right.
It's
So it doesn't look
exactly
like
the
anybody is
Yeah, that's
nobody
what
is
I
over
had.
10. But nobody else has fumbled, so that's
Oh.
good. Y'all are in decent shape. All right, so you pack up camp and you advance.
Oh no, sorry, I misread the Janaya's roll. Because it had the +3.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Ignore me. Sorry.
All right. You advance down into the dungeon, into this cavern.
What? There's a dungeon here?
Underground?
No way.
Because I think as you pack up and you look at your map, you notice that it is just pulsing gently.
I guess we're
I think-
here?
And you definitely hear a distant ticking.
doesn't sound like we're alone.
And as you watch the map, you see it beating in time to this sound.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for like a circle, like a glowy circle with some lights coming off of it. So I
A
can
save
stand on it
point?
and
You're
save
looking
real
for a
quick.
save point? Yes, Ken. You
Walk over to it, press X.
you press a button, you send your prayers to Gaia, and your spot is preserved in memory. And you go onward. So as you advance down this tunnel with your lights and such, everybody please make a travel check. Your target
Yeah, so-
number in here is 8.
Okay. Can I also can I magic my crystal to be glowy
Yeah.
while we're at it?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Travel. Just a second.
Oh no.
Everybody gets a fumble point.
All right.
Can I also look for herbs and fail at that too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, I can find plants.
All right. Before you advance too far down the cave, you do a quick scout around and you see some plants, some
Yes.
stuff you recognize. We will. Let me find the herb list again.
Barely made it on my travel check. A fumbled travel check.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you look for that
Might
for
just
me?
stay
'Cause I'm-
Yep. Been a while. Let's see. On a fumble. Oh God! You quarter your current HP, rounding
Ugh.
down.
Oh! Ow! Ow! Ow!
So
Can I do anything? Do I round down or round up?
round down.
I believe one of you has a cure spell.
It's not me.
I do actually. You're right.
Goes.
So what you can do, because your HP is at what now?
4.
Oh, I got you.
Oof. What you can do? Jeez, how much HP do you have?
I just dumped everything into HP, so it's
Fair enough. You can get a healing spell from Kathira, hopefully, assuming we don't get cascading fumbles. But you can also, because you're a healer, you have the healing ability.
right.
You can spend a healing herb.
I could spend an herb, and that's just the herbs out of my container, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna do that. And I think what happens is it's pretty early into the thing that Galena's just like, we're gonna go find some treasure and save the world and it's gonna be great. And then she just like literally walks smack into a rock.
Like it was
She
stalactite.
just
like
paying
biffs it
attention,
completely.
and just like trips over it and falls like chin first on the ground, bites her tongue, and just like bruises, like, ow! And she carefully pulls the little baby deer out of her pocket and curls up. She goes, "You okay?" And, like tucks it back in. She goes, I'm gonna need a minute, you guys." And, like kind of
yes, of
crawls
course,
on
of
the
course.
rock.
I think Kathira doesn't know that Galena has an herb and is like ready to handle things, so she like rushes over to her and kneels down. Galena, do you need a hand? I ought to have a spell that works.
I think I have some things in my pockets. She starts kind of going through her pockets and coming up with things, and I'll do a healing.
It's a good thing you succeeded
So
on
8?
your. So it won't be with topography.
Mhm.
It's just
Oh, so
the
it's a
in-
6?
Yeah.
It's just
You
the int
succeed.
spirit, and you
Yep.
recover HP equal to the amount that you rolled.
Okay.
So you get
So-
6.
So now I have 10 HP.
Cool. What is that in relate? What is your max?
18.
Okay. Cool. So after Galena takes a minute to get herself situated after that very perilous spill, you
Good
all
thing you passed your herb check.
yeah.
Seriously.
You all proceed onwards. And I think as you advance into this area, let's go ahead and do direction checks because this strange mechanical tunnel you find yourself in starts to spiderweb out into several smaller tunnels.
Direction.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just.
Okay.
Wait,
so
I'll do
the
it.
direction check, not everybody rolls.
Oh, I
yeah.
forgot. No one does.
Yeah.
Not everyone
Oh,
does that.
sorry,
Ignore
I
mine.
just-
Ignore
So
mine.
the
Then
direction
I
check
forgot
and
about
the
that.
camping check are one person,
Ah.
and then one person can help.
Yes.
Okay.
So who is helping and who is leading the way? I guess who's taking point? This does not necessarily have to be the mapper since we're in a dungeon. We are
Yeah.
playing by our own rules now.
Okay.
I don't think it's Kathira because she's still helping Galena or observing Galena get back up.
Oh.
Who's leading the way?
I wasn't planning on it, but I guess if everyone else is preoccupied, I might.
Okay.
It's probably one of the two people that sits in the front row. So,
Oh,
sounds like
okay.
Sage.
Cool. Well, so Sage, you are leading the way. You find a few empty rooms that seem to have broken down machinery, and there's this faint glow in the veining of the wall carved in that pulses with that ticking that is just constant in the back of your minds.
Is
You
this
can't
place?
quite tell where it's coming from. And everything here feels, for those of you that are more in tune with nature and are used to being in forests and things, this whole place just gives you a feeling of it's unsettling. It's ancient and cold to you and doesn't feel even remotely alive, but there is activity, there is noise. It feels false. And you are effectively a bit lost right now.
Great.
Because you did not pass your direction check.
No, I had a
Um,
feeling. I had a feeling.
And I think in this room, everybody roll perception for me, if you would, please.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm good at this one. Yeah, 8.
Let me find this on the sheet. Okay.
It's
Whoa!
in the...
I found it.
Holy
Let's go.
But you won't have the terrain bonus.
Dang.
Okay, so it's an 11.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Most
okay.
checks don't use topography, so
Yeah.
you should leave that unchecked.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Oh,
rolling
okay.
Only check that when you actually, like, if I
Oh,
let you know that
sorry.
the topography is a target number.
I didn't know that stayed for everything. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No worries.
So let's take one for mine.
All right. So, looks like Galena will notice this first, and I think perhaps as you're taking a moment, your hand sort of brushes against a object on the table, a small sphere, and kind of bumps it, and then you hear this, and a little light pulses out, and you hear, although crackled and distorted at times, you hear a voice coming from this small sphere. Lost all of the mist dragon brood but one. The egg appears to be unchanged by the infusion as yet, so we will maintain the incubation and observe until hatching or signs of demise. And there's a bit of a pause, and then you hear some jumbled array of words that don't mean anything to you, and the voice continues. The hatchling appears to be more sapient than others of its kind. Curious but timid, it is reluctant to approach the rest of the research team. On remarking our names, it asked for one of its own. I obliged, and in the pressure of the moment, decided to name the hatchling Mistral. And it fades out and seems to die down.
I don't like this place.
Nor do I. There's bad memories here.
Sage, if you're gonna walk in the front, I should probably give you some armor. Can you give me like an hour? I wanna cast a ritual spell.
Okay. And while that's going on, I think, let's see, who had the next highest perception check?
I had an 8.
I had
an 8
an
as
11.
well.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, Gavin.
So,
Yep.
Kathira,
Mm.
Kathira, while you were sort of just looking around the room, passing the time, you notice another one of those orbs sitting on a shelf,
Mm.
not far from the desk, very much like the one that Galena bumped and woke up.
Kathira sees the orb and she walks over towards it, and absentmindedly, seeing how Galena tapped into it and no harm befell her, she just reaches out to it and
You
pokes it.
poke it, and a little bit of dust springs off, and this one also comes to life. there's a little hint of that white noise underlaying the voice. And it's the same voice as before. Although Mistral is cooperative on most counts, he exhibits fear when he hears talk of battling the other side. I have warned the commander that he's by no means ready to be used in battle. She grows impatient with his continued instability and no proof of his usefulness. Whether by his cleverness or bad luck, Mistral overheard this discussion and inquired with me as to his usefulness. Dragon or no, more and more I have come to believe this child should not be made to fight. Certainly not for a cause he has no stake in. I lied to him. I instructed him in the ways of animating the demon stones and used the power of the fortress. And I told him I would keep him on to assist me. He could make himself useful in that way. And it fades.
I imagine Sage is like developing a cold sweat and her hands are going clammy.
How long ago do you think these messages were left?
How clean does the place look? Like, is it sort of cobwebby and dusty?
It doesn't appear overly cobwebby. There's a considerable layer of dust, like someone doesn't really know how to handle upkeep here, but it doesn't seem ruined. Everything definitely feels aged, but it seems like it's remarkably preserved. And there is just that general hum of energy in this place that you aren't entirely sure where it comes from. This room, as you really get a look around since you're spending some time in here, sort of looks like an office of some kind. And you could sort of piece together by the things you've heard, this was probably whoever was leaving these recordings, this was their office and their personal records. You do see that there are, looks like there was something that might have been on the desk somewhat recently because there's a patch where the dust is not. So something may have been removed or rifled fairly recently.
I don't think we're alone.
I don't think so either. We'll have to be careful.
And stick together, everyone.
Absolutely.
Of course. I think Sage is just gonna have her saber at the ready.
Mm-hmm. All right. So do you get the spell on Sage?
It takes an hour because ritual spells take for frickin' ever. But let me roll a magic check. Basically, the entire time y'all have been poking around this room, Tali has been tracing these sort of glowing lines in the air around Sage that are forming a complex pattern. Don't be a fumble! And finally, after about an hour, she says, Bindung aus Diamant und Stahl musste der Soldaten rüsten. And the patterns crystallize in the air around Sage, and then disappear, and there's just this like glowing aura that passes over her in a steady interval. You now have, for the next 12 hours, 3 defense points. So you take 3 less damage.
Nice.
Excellent.
Would I mark that on the character sheet somewhere, like on Roll20?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just add armor to your clothes for now, or we could just like subtract. We can subtract 3 every time you take damage.
Okay, sounds
don't
good.
worry about it.
Will not worry.
So, once you've gotten yourself situated and vacate this room, you carry on through the halls. After a bit of time, you start to manage to get a sense of this place and reorient yourselves. And you find another room similar to the last that seems to also be some sort of office, although this one is bigger and has what some of you who may have backgrounds as in the army recognize as a war table. A lot of the pieces are gone from it. It looks like it's taken some damage. You see some claw marks in it. But you do see another orb on the desk at the back of this room, much like the others.
I first traced the claw marks with my fingers. Do you think this came from that hatchling they were talking about? I think it didn't like this room very much.
Well, at least we've got that in common.
Yes.
I'll put my hand on the orb.
Okay. And this one you see glows with a slightly different color light. It's more of a reddish glow than the soft green blue. And similarly, all of these recordings sound a little like distorted in some ways, but you hear a woman's voice emerge quite forcefully. The Dragoneth refuses to fight. The years spent cultivating this creature utterly wasted. Painful now when the forces of Adazel are almost upon us. A beast like that would have been an advantage. Dr. Zakura coddled the creature too much, and now it's us who pays the price. Blast! Zakura has been reassigned, and I've given the order to put the creature down. If Adazel takes this place, best they don't get their hands on a weapon like that. And it fades.
I'm assuming we recognize that place name.
Probably. It's a human kingdom. One of the many that were involved in the war from ages and ages ago. Or in your memories, not so long ago, actually.
Yeah, pretty recently. Which I think puts this location into some major context.
Mm-hmm.
So it really has been a long time.
Yeah, I guess it has.
Guess we must have been in our glade for a while.
We're asleep
Come back.
for a while.
I'm sure we're here soon enough.
I hope that creature escaped.
Me too. Maybe it went back and met up with that doctor.
That is a nice thought.
Let's see if there's anything left here.
So you continue on down. You advance down some steps, the floor ringing with a hollow metallic sound as you go, and that ticking seems to get louder and deeper the deeper you go. And it's just sort of all around and continues to just be unsettling. And there's a point at which you start to feel as though the ticking and your heartbeat are moving in time, and it does not feel good.
And it's not like a ticking all around us, it's like one specific
It's just
ticking.
a deep, yeah, it's just a singular deep sound that is reverberating everywhere here.
Hey.
And so you find a chamber. I think you noticed this because there was a brilliant light sort of emanating from this door that sort of draws you in. And you see in this room rows upon rows set with intention in the kind of bronze metallic frameworks of the wall. These glowing crystals uttering this kind of soft hum sound. I think a few of you probably recognize symphonic crystals when you see them. But you notice there is a glass case at the very back that's quite large, that has kind of a setting where a stone probably was. It's been smashed open and there is nothing there. And you just sort of see energy seeping in to this sort of reactor space. And when you actually enter the room, you feel weak. it makes you feel a little sick.
This is no ordinary magic.
Please roll spirit for me, friends.
Yeah!
Do I have a...
You will have to make that manually at the bottom of your check sheet.
Okay.
Spirit.
There should be a spot at the bottom for additional checks. You hit add and it'll let you select the die that you need to use. Oops. Yep.
9.
Sorry.
Okay.
That's
I think I did that right.
Still the wrong one. Hold on, I'm gonna get it right anytime now. Yay!
All right.
Third time's the charm.
Okay, so that's a 7, a 9, 11, and a 9. Okay, cool. Anyone who rolled below a 10, you
Oh no.
Oh,
can
shit.
subtract 2 HP.
Oof. Oh, but I have so much of it normally.
You definitely feel like if you stay in this room much longer, that's going to continue to happen.
Is there another door here?
There is not.
Is this a dead end? Okay.
This is a dead end, but there's more further down the hallway. This was kind of a sort of drew you in type of room, but you do hear activity further down the hall.
Yeah, Galena immediately grabs her chest and is like, "This is not we can't be in here," and backs up out of the room.
I think Tali lingers a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we should just leave it here.
I think Kathira goes over to Tali and kind of puts her hand on her arm. This is not our kind of magic. It'll only continue to make things worse. Come on.
She turns to Follow and says, "Not your kind of magic, maybe."
Once Sage sees everyone else has left the room, she'll back out to trying to do rear guard just in case.
All right. So you almost immediately feel like yourselves again once you leave that room. Although some of the damage has been done, you feel a little tired, a little winded, and continue further down the hall. As you look in other halls, you see each of these rooms. There are more of these sort of small crystal containment rooms. And then the light that is ahead of you, you advance and you sort of see basically that type of room, but it opens onto this great hall space that's almost like part engine room, part reactor, and you see just a white light beyond the grating of the fence that sort of, the rail that sort of blocks you from going further. And there is a very sizable but broken crystal here that has a faint glow, but it doesn't appear to be absorbing any. It's just sort of in stasis. And as you enter and your footsteps king, king, king on the metal, you hear a voice. Who's there?
Private Tali of the 3rd Regiment.
3rd Regiment? I don't know who that is. What are you doing here? Are you with him? And you see, up at the top of the crystal, if you would all give me a perception check, we'll see who notices first.
Oh,
Good.
nice.
Tali!
Get crit on!
All right. You see the head of a dragon
Nice.
And then you see the head of a child, or at least you think it's a child, perhaps an elven child, very, very pale, red eyes, white hair. And you realize the dragon head is just a staff. And he drops down, drifts down to the floor, surrounded by a little bit of mist and wind. And he levels the staff at you. Get out.
Look, we're
Sage
not...
will like immediately come and stand in front and kind of have the sword kind of in a defensive position.
I've already been stolen from once. What do you want?
We don't know. We were just...
Him, aren't you?
No,
You're going to take the rest of them.
No,
And
we
he's
were...
going to attack. Oh no, before you have time to speak.
Okay.
However. So. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Boss music. Oh, sick.
So. Who's in front? What's our formation here?
Well, I was trying to defend Polly. I don't know if
Yeah,
that.
I mean, at the beginning of combat, you can put yourself in whatever.
Yeah,
area you
move
want.
yourselves wherever is appropriate.
I'm still ranged, so I'm still here.
I still have to be where I can hit things.
I'm gonna do a stupid thing. I'm gonna be in front.
Oh no! Okay.
Oh, that did not do what I thought it would.
Oh shit. I'm gonna
Never
die.
mind.
And then do we roll initiative?
Yep.
Dice, don't fail me now.
Oh yes, initiative's a thing.
The dice
Okay.
have failed me.
No.
Oh boy.
It's okay.
In interest of keeping things simple, I'm gonna just have all of the little trash mobs act on one turn.
Okay.
Because rolling for so many things is real annoying.
Well, they should just have an initiative stat, right?
Yeah, which they're probably about the same. Okay, let me find my monsters. Enjoy the pop, I guess.
We're doing our
I
highlight
better-
missions.
Our pre-battle stance.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay.
We're waiting for ATB to fill out.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's Galena's initiative?
9.
9.
9.
9. Tally.
5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Carl.
Probably gonna
Sage.
reroll that.
8.
Okay. Kathira.
3.
Oh, sweetie.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I guess.
Alright. What is Sage's condition right now?
I don't remember. I think it was.
You should write that down on your stats page.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. Let's roll back a
it's-
little. 7?
Yeah, that's
Sure.
something.
Okay. Boop. All right. So I think everybody is in roughly the appropriate order. Objects while I'm moving names around.
Crystal shard.
Yep.
A book,
Okay.
or a tome, if you will.
Yes. Janaya.
A piece of machinery.
Okay. Kirby.
I was thinking like stalagmite or like one of those like rock formations from like the ground.
Probably not because this is fully manufactured in here.
Okay,
but,
sorry, never mind then.
It's kind of like an engine room or reactor room, so there's a lot of like parts.
Okay. So then probably just like some like old machinery parts just lying around then. Okay. Well, that's already been said. Dang it. I was thinking old tools then.
Tools, yeah. All right, and I am going to say a part of the railing is broken. So that will do us nicely. So he summons up an array of little elemental spirit creatures, barring the way in front of him, sort of acting as a barrier. And he lifts up off the ground, floating ever so slightly. And Galena, you get to act first.
Oh no. Galena will look at this hovering dragon head creature and be like, "We didn't come here to hurt you. We just followed the sparkles in here. I don't even know who he is." And she's gonna hit whatever elemental is closest to her with the bottom of her broom, kind of like she's trying to push it away.
Okay. Oof. Okay.
It's real bad.
Yeah. That doesn't. You swish the broom through it, and this thing just sort of parts like wind and then reforms after your broom has passed. Cool. So it is this child's turn to act.
Ground this kid.
Eeny, beeny, miny, mo. He's going to do an attack. You see him level the staff and raise it, and a light starts to form, and you hear him say, "O fickle princess of the heavens, rend them with your radiant light! Kaguya's ley lance!" And,
Ouchies!
yeah, does anybody have a condition that exceeds a 10?
No.
Okay, so Tali, congratulations. You're in the middle.
Yep. I'm dead.
You glance up and you see light start to form in these shards above your head and just come down, and you feel the sting of burning light. And you take 5 damage.
I'm not dead. I have 3 HP. Yeah, my max is 10.
Oh no.
So, ouchies.
Ow.
And now the little wind creatures advance. This fellow over here goes for you, Sage, and is going to try to attack. Does an 8 hit?
Well, I have like the defense +3. I don't
That's for
know when
damage.
that-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And if it meets it, it beats it. So since Sage's initiative is an 8.
Yeah. So you're fine. You're actually fine either way because the damage would have been 3.
Oh, hey.
Yeah,
Good.
3 armor is a lot of armor.
Yeah. You feel a cool breeze accost you. Gently. This little trash right here is gonna swipe at Galena because she tried to sweep it, and it didn't
Trash,
like
it's
that.
trying its best, okay?
Yeah. Its best is way not good enough. And this little one here is gonna kind of bolt, sort of like a lightning bolt beam at Kathira in the back. That definitely that hits. Because I don't think your condition is a 12.
No, it's definitely a 5.
Yeah. Okay. So you feel this shock and you take 4 damage.
Ooh.
And this little fella over here does the same thing at Sage.
Okay.
What your condition was 7, we said?
Yeah.
Okay. That also strikes you. Feel it rattle through your armor. Does defense?
Defense points do not apply to magic.
Okay, so you take 6 damage.
Oh!
Hey. I'm still
Frick.
holding in there.
Oh boy.
Also,
Save
Galena,
scum. Save scum.
Yes.
you did say some things. Could you roll a negotiation check for me, please?
Oh, I can. Just as soon as I figure out where that is.
It's under the common checks, I believe.
I'll go check.
It was on the right. In spirit. It's just
Right,
under
I see.
monster knowledge, yeah.
Oh,
Okay. He doesn't seem moved by your pleas at all. He's
I
just
see. Damn it.
okay. So Sage, it is your turn to act.
I imagine Sage just kind of shouts like, "I won't let you get away with hurting my friends," and then just try to attack the elemental in front of her
Okay.
with a sword. So we're not. This probably won't go too well.
Take a swing.
Woo!
Hey!
You got it. Do your damage.
Woo! Okay.
Roll more than one.
That would be nice.
What's
I
your
would
type?
love more than one. My type is nimble.
Oh, that's right. Five is
Okay.
a lot more than one.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did good. You carve through with your sword and you see some of this mist dissipate and it gets smaller. It reforms, but it's like about
It's
half
like
the
It's
size.
the same model but shrunk down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, actually, yeah. There.
Nice. I love it.
There you go.
Yeah.
That.
Baby.
Am I just hurting children? Is that this campaign?
No.
Welcome to Fun Shots. Child Abuse Edition.
We killed the children, babies.
So Tali, it's your turn. What do you do?
Tali steps forward and says, "Stop this! We don't need to fight!" And I would like to cast a spell.
Okay.
I'm going to say, Jess knows what spell this is. My sadness belongs only to me, but I hear yours as well. It's okay to feel that heartache. And I am casting Ultimate Tears on the kiddo.
Okay.
So I'm spend 4 MP, which is half of my remaining MP. And then I'm gonna cast a magic check, and I'm going to spend a fumble point,
Okay.
and I'm going to concentrate, bringing me down to 2 MP.
Okay.
Putting
for a
everything
total
in.
of +2.
Yeah. Go home and go broke.
Alright. Is there anything else that I can
God.
do here? I don't think so. Oh my god. 6.
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Alright, so he's not crying. Can I roll the
No, you see the magic make its way, and he just sort of swipes through the air with his free hand, and you see mist kind of force it to dissipate. It just dissolves into fog.
Can I roll to see if my pleas do anything? Okay.
Yes. Roll a negotiation check.
10?
Ah.
I think that's as good as a pro, or one step above. Come on, kiddo, we don't need to hurt each other.
Let's see. I literally, yeah. Okay.
Oh no.
He sort of seems to pause, and you can tell looking at him, he's not here to fight per se. You see fear in his eyes, but he sort of shakes it off and still seems insistent on driving you all back. So, Kathira, it is your turn.
Doesn't seem like talking to him is going to do any good. Kathira turns her attention towards the shrunken little guy. And she wants to cast Shooting Star.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's see how that goes for me today.
Nice.
Oh my god! Roll your damage.
Girl! is killing it. Which one's damage again?
Spirit.
It's a
Oh, that's my crazy one, right?
yeah.
D8.
D8.
Yeah.
1d8.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm.
All right.
okay. Well, you know what? It'd be like that sometimes.
It's like down to basically a speck. So in interest of just getting this little monster off the field,
Okay.
we'll assume you've destroyed it.
Great.
All right. We're back to the top with Galena.
I am going to say, Tully's right. We don't have to hurt each other. I don't know what you're afraid of, but we can help you. And then she is not going to attack. She's going to she's going to do the int roll using a fumble point to try to give Tully some HP back.
Okay.
Do you have a healing herb to spend on that?
Did I not? This is what I guess I should have asked.
I think we can
Um,
assume
so,
you keep
like,
some with you.
I had some, right? Because I have the 10 slot container, and so I figured I just had that.
Yeah,
Can-
like technically they expire, but let's assume you have some because you're kind of an herbalist type anyway.
Okay.
I ain't worried about it.
I made my thing too small, and I can't get to my roll. That is first aid in combat.
A 6. Damn. I'm almost back to full health.
Nice.
Good job. You're patching Tally up like real fast.
Feels good. Feels good.
Okay. Roll a negotiation check, please.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
6?
Nope. Okay.
Where's that
I
plus
guess
2
I
from?
applied my thing to the negotiation, not to my.
It's plus 2 from concentration.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't apply my concentration to the first aid.
No,
Oh.
it did. It did. It just doesn't uncheck it afterward.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You have
rolled
to
too
manually
fast.
do the checking.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So yeah, that doesn't quite break through. In fact, you sort of see him get a little more angry, and since it is his turn, I've had enough. Just get out of here. And he's going to swing with his staff at you, Galena. And you see the wind start to form itself into a blade, and it comes swinging for you. With a 12, I'm gonna say that hits, and he does 5 damage.
okay.
And now the trash babies.
Oh boy.
Zappy's gonna go for Sage, but does not make it. You've learned a thing or two about dodging lightning, apparently.
Nice. I should
Uh,
hope so.
the swooshy wind child goes and swipes at Tally, but does not make it with a 4. You again also feel caressed by a cool breeze that seems like it could have hurt, but it wouldn't. And the other Zappy is going to go at Kathira, but does
Again?
not make it. Oh, actually, no, it does make it because your initiative is heckin' low. Oh, wait. What is your condition? 5?
5, yeah.
Nope, you're good. Y'all are fine. These little trash babies did terribly this round. So Sage, it is your turn.
Okay. Oh gosh. This does not seem to be working, but Sage, seeing everyone's like desperate attempts to like negotiate instead of attack, she's just gonna grit her teeth and just listen. We're here to help. Gaia sent us.
Okay. Roll
And
your
I have to roll
negotiation check.
Okay. One of my class things, would he be someone of low? Probably he's not someone of low rank or low status, so I guess.
Nah. This
That
is just
would
a
not
straight
it.
negotiation check. He doesn't have a
Okay.
place in society.
Okay.
What's that?
Negotiation.
Strange orphan elves are not. A 6?
No, that's not happening.
He seems unmoved.
Oof.
Do you do anything else, or do you just want to yell at him? You can still act. The negotiation check is sort of a separate situation here.
Okay.
You can talk and fight at the same time, right?
Yeah, I guess because she's saying he's not moved and she's too concerned about her friends to just completely withhold. So I'm just gonna swing my sword at the zap zap.
Swang it. All right. Cool, cool.
So that hits.
It sure does. Do your damage.
Woo!
Okay. Bzz. You cut through the lightning
Nice.
and take care of that little creature. So, Tally, it is your turn now. You've been gently stroked by a wind elemental.
Everything sucks. Let's see. Is this a? Okay. I think she says, "What's it gonna take to get you to understand that I'm not going to fight you? I'm done killing people." And I throw down my hand axe on the ground. Is the sky visible from here, or are we?
This is way deep underground.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Or actually, I guess to do an action, I want to assess the situation. I want to redo my initiative.
Okay, yeah, do that.
'Cause my
And also
initiative is
roll.
butts.
Yeah, and roll your negotiation check +1.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, initiative first. It's not any better. Okay.
All right, cool.
And negotiation. Ooh, I'm gonna concentrate and spend a fumble point. I have
God.
1 MP.
Oh my god.
No.
You.
Oh gosh.
Alright, and that's math is hard 9. Just
9?
Good as a pro.
Okay. Yeah. You see him start to lower the staff again, particularly on seeing you throw down your hand axe. And these little guys vanish. And, Kathira, do you do anything
Yeah, now
while
that the
he's hesitating?
while the little guys vanish, she puts her chakras back to her side. We didn't build these machines. If you'd allow us just a chance to talk, please. So, I'm gonna roll a little negotiation and hope that I can roll decently, because I have not tried this yet. So she's very hesitant. Here goes.
6.
Okay. He drifts down. Small feet landing back on the
Oh no, I
metal
can't hear now.
gently.
Uh-oh. Catherine, come back.
Oh no.
Catherine, come back.
You back?
Yeah, the audio cut out.
Weird.
Weird.
I rolled terribly, so
That's okay. That's okay. Tally was ahead of you and rolled pretty darn good. And he lowers himself back to the ground. You hear his small feet dum, dum, on the metal. And then the staff, which shrinks itself down into a flute that he tucks down into his sash. So you're not with him then? The other intruder who came and broke the crystals?
no.
No.
Who was he?
I don't know. He looked a little like you. He looks at you, Kathira.
Me?
Same hair.
There's Was his name Sargon?
I don't know. I tried to drive him off, but he took what he wanted and then he ran.
Do you know what he took? Sage has sheathed her blade by now.
He took the stabilizing crystal that keeps this place going.
What happens without it?
It's just going to take what it can out of the land, and then when it runs out, it runs out.
Oh.
Is there any way we could replace it? Make a new one? Or will we have to get the old one back?
I don't know. There might be some out there. I haven't gone to look.
How long ago were you visited?
A few days ago.
That's quite a big lead. Not the worst, but certainly not the best.
Kathira slowly approaches the young boy, and she kind of like kneels down a little bit. She's a little taller than him. Not by much, though.
He's pretty tiny.
Yeah.
He's like maybe 5 feet tall.
Oh, perfect. So she's like 4 inches taller than him. So she like kind of like kneels a little bit. My name's Kathira. What's yours?
Mistral.
It's nice to meet you, Mistral.
Dylan.
If you'd allow us to go looking for them, we're up to the task, right, guys?
Yes.
Sage just gives a curt nod.
Is there anything we could do instead of getting the crystal?
I don't know. This
In the
place
meantime.
isn't gonna hold on forever. But I don't know where to go.
With us, of course.
Where are you going? Who are you with? Which side are you on?
It just holds out, like whips out the map. We're following this, and we're trying to see how like most of it's like sad and dead and stuff. We're trying to fix that.
Yes. We're just on the side of life, I guess.
As far as I understand it, the war is over.
Oh,
All that's left is to rebuild.
over.
And he starts to take steps toward the map. Galena, I think you notice he's favoring one foot more than the other as he walks. And he goes to the map and he holds up the flute next to a spot that has not yet been lit by it. But Tali, you notice the symbol that's on the end of the flute and the symbol on the map are the same.
I think you
guess-
should have this.
What?
I'm sorry, what was that?
And he holds out the flute to all of you.
It's yours.
Sage kind of puts up her hand like, I'm afraid I can't take care of that.
It'll show you the way to Gale Song.
The Gale
Wait,
Song?
so you're coming with them? You can't just stay here.
I guess.
Right?
I'm
And-
sorry.
We've got
I-
plenty of rations.
That is true.
And water.
Surely you must be
Rations.
hungry.
Oh, it's just like-
Food.
So I just gestures to like a barrel of water.
We have a
Sitting
lot
off
of
to the side.
we have a lot of stew, guys.
By this
Yeah,
time,
all of our
I
inventory is
think
piled
he's
up in the side.
overwhelmed by all of these things. Then Galena comes up and she goes, "Can I look at your leg? Are you okay?"
Huh?
And
Oh.
she-
Oh, I guess I didn't get that. I tried to make him go away too, and he's really strong.
Oh, let me help you. Just sit
Okay.
down.
He sits down. He definitely seems to be very shy and avoiding contact, but he lets you.
She reaches into her pocket and pulls out the little baby deer, and she goes, "Would you like to hold my friend?"
It's so cute.
And he
Here.
hugs it.
And so she lets him hold the deer while she kind of checks out his leg and like looks for, obvious injuries or just things that she can massage and fix.
Mhm. So you take care of him, and he seems a good deal more comfortable around you after some time with the little deer, and he hands it back. And I think he stands up and
Well, we shouldn't stay here. So if you're going to leave, I'll go with you.
Oh, good.
Sounds like a good plan.
We're happy to have you, Minstrel.
This
Yes.
place gives me the spooks.
It does.
I wouldn't call it the spooks, but it's definitely unnerving.
Come on, I'll show you the way out.
Thank you.
and he opens up a door in this chamber that seems to take a much more direct.
Is that always there?
There are a lot of hidden tunnels in this place. I've learned all of them.
Impressive.
Very.
And you make your way out of the dungeon safely. And you are back out into the wasteland. And when you get out there, he plays a small melody on the flute that carries on the wind, and your map, bing, bing, starts to light the way to the next location. And in the distance, you can see cliffs rise up out of the earth, and buildings kind of forming out of this rock formation as before your very eyes, a town appears. Maybe an hour's walk away.
That definitely wasn't there before.
No.
Was that some kind of enchantment? And she looks towards Minstrel.
I don't know. I think it's just the memory waking back up.
The memory.
Everything was locked away.
I'm just laughing in chat now.
Ocarina of Town.
Song of Town.
Well, I guess that's where we go next then.
Absolutely.
And so you head off down the road to your next locale. And that is not quite where we end the session.
Oh.
Once our good group has made their way on in the distance, we follow them a while, and we see a figure in a long green cloak from the back, following a ways behind, a crystal in his hand,
Uh-oh.
and long black hair drifting in the wind as he drops his hood. And that is where we end this session.
And go fight him.
Who dis?
Who dis?
Who dis?
Who plays who dis?
Who dis?
New boy. Who dis? Alright. Damn. Awesome. That was a great session.
Good job, y'all. We didn't punch a child.
We did it. We didn't die. We only punched a dead child, and that's fine.
Yeah, that child was dead when we got there.
We
It was
helped
okay.
put him to rest. That's what we did. We helped his spirit
You
move
punched-
on.
You punched an undead kid, you whacked some elementals, but you did not punch the actual baby dragon. So good job.
To be fair, I was going to ask if there was like a way to attack without like to incapacitate rather than deal damage.
Yeah. Anytime you deal damage, I believe you can with a weapon. It might just be in general. You can decide if it's lethal or not. You can look at the rules in between sessions.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was our show. The show will be back in 2 weeks' time with episode 3, which will not be the finale, because if you only watched the first episode and heard me say 3 episodes a bunch of times, that's wrong. We're doing 3 episodes of Ryutama, so this is our first of those 3 episodes. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks after that we will see where it all wraps up. But in the meantime, let's go around and give our names, where people can find us, and maybe a highlight from the episode. So, starting with Jess.
Hello, hi, I'm Jess. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch and Itch.io and Patreon at Little Cup of Joe. You can also hear me in a video game, so that's kind of cool. If you like CRPGs and RTS games as one thing, Spellforce 3, I play in that. I can be your magical archer healer elf chick.
It's good, and Iria is super good.
Iria's like the only not trash person most of the time in that cast.
I love it.
I lucked out somehow. But yeah, you can find me on all those places doing RPG things or games or whatever. I think I really love that all of you leaned in and realized pretty quickly that maybe negotiating out of the fight was the way to go. That was very good, and I'm glad that that was the way you managed to wrap that up. You talked him down instead of just beating the crap out of him.
Beating him up.
I think these four and the way they clearly are a little hurt but care deeply about taking care of each other is very wonderful to see.
All right, Janaya.
Hello, my name is Janaya, and you can find me at Janaya pretty much everywhere. And you can find me, let's see, Twitch-wise, you can find me on Encounter Roleplay this Wednesday on Little Busters at 5 o'clock Pacific. We're coming to the end of this particular arc, and we had a drama-filled, try to hash it out episode last time that ended on an even bigger drama-filled cliffhanger. So if you like watching people relive their teenage drama, do we have the show for you? And then next Saturday, you can find me on Other Docs channel at 5 p.m. Pacific, playing Invisible Sun. We had our session 0 and we will last weekend, and we'll be having our session 1 next weekend, and it is some absolute weird goodness. And yeah, I think that's it. And I'm back here. So my favorite moment, gosh, I gotta say that I just really liked the bizarre life-sucking room that we went into. And I liked everybody's very different, like, we've all been kind of moving as a group, and there was kind of this really good moment where all of a sudden the group moved apart. Like, Alina got out of the room, and Kathyra and Tully were like in it, and then she tried to pull back, and there was this moment of friction, and I liked kind of seeing that we were a group, but we all have our own personal little missions.
Awesome. Kirby.
Hi, I am Kirby. You can find me hanging out on Twitter at Rebs Rambling. And you can find me here in 2 weeks, back at Ryutama. So
Favorite moment?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I think I like the character bonding moment between, sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, but Kathyra and Tali, when they were talking about magic, and then she cast her little spell and the flowers bloom.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of your Catherine.
Hi.
Who you?
Hi guys.
You're fine.
Who this? This is Catherine Bean. You can find me on the Twitter and the Instagram as Catherine2_Lynn. It's really dumb. I don't know why, but that's how it is. On Twitch, though, I'm just Catherine Lynn. I've been kind of in the chat a little bit. I will be streaming tomorrow Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. So if you guys play Final Fantasy XIV, you can find me on Behemoth, which is the best server on the Primal Data Center. My favorite moment also was with Kathyra and Tali. And the interesting thing is, I think the two of them have a lot of similarities, but from opposite spectrums, where Tali was actually in the military versus Kathira was an incredibly gifted fighter and was kind of pushed into you need to be a fight, you need to fight, you need to be this weapon kind of thing. So I'm curious to see where their similarities and differences take their friendship.
Yeah. I am a Narcissus on here, where you're watching me. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Itch.io, Patreon, all sorts of places. You should check out, I can point, you should check out the Patreon, where you can support this show and everything else creative that I do. You should also check out the Discord and join that to yell about this show, other shows, video games. I'm going to be picking speedrunning back up soon. So if you're into that at all, come by. Let's see, streams coming up tomorrow evening. I might be playing Monster Prom. We'll see. If so, that would be around 6 p.m. Pacific. But for surezies, on Monday, I am doing a bonus stream with Summer, just a summer job from Twitter, and also from like everything that I run on here, basically. We are playing a 2-player RPG that she wrote called Knowing You, which is about 2 people who were in love and things didn't work out. And you start from where it didn't work out, and then you work backwards from there. So that's going to be a lot of tears.
That'll be fine and very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, Summer and I aren't big into stabbing each other. That's not so that should be fun. On Wednesday, I should be back to the aforementioned Spellforce 3. So if listening to Jess talk about that got you interested and you want to see what it's like and watch someone play it and potentially rage a little bit at some of the RTS sections, come by on Wednesday at 5 Pacific, where I will be playing more of that. And then, of course, on Saturday, so a week from today, we will be back with the 3rd episode of The Burning Shores of Achillea, our Burning Wheel short shot we're running here on Fun Shots, which is just a whole time. Just a whole heckin' time.
Sounds really wholesome.
I'm scared.
No. We ended last episode with my character poisoning a bunch of refugees to make an example for one of the other player characters.
Awesome.
I'm playing a villain. In Burning Wheel.
Oh dear.
So we're gonna see the fallout from that. We're gonna see if I accidentally poisoned the person that I was trying to make an example of. It'll be a whole time. Clarification. I had an argument with my sister, and she didn't agree to do the thing that I asked her to do, so now I'm making an example of the refugee camp that we're in. So
obviously it's her fault.
It really is. It really is. She should have just been like, yeah, I'll do that thing. Like, I don't understand. I did what she asked. Yeah.
Hey, man, you play to your beliefs. That's how Burning Wheel works.
Yeah. So if you don't get enough villainry from me as a GM, come by on Saturday for that. Yeah, I think that's just about it. Before we go, I want to say a thank you to Matthias for the 8-month resub. Holy shit. Thank you for that at the top of the show. And also, just now, thank you, Rock, for the 300 bits. I want to give an extra special shout out to Matthias. Not just for the sub at the top of the show, but also for helping me with the German for Talia's spells. I do not speak German, which if you do speak German, you could probably still tell based on my pronunciation. But Matthias helped me out with figuring out the phrasing and was super helpful and patient in giving me a pronunciation guide and all that. So big thanks for that. Yeah, that's going to be it for us. We will see you again for this show in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this. And most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.